Hello one and all, and welcome to round 12 of the League of Europe Division 2 Championship. We are here in Belgium here, and we've got a full grid of 20 drivers to take on the iconic Spa circuit here. Bright and sunny here at Spa, so hopefully in this qualifying session we'll see the fastest times these drivers can put down and try and get as far up the grid as they possibly can. 20 drivers here to take this on for round 12. Let's see how it goes down.
Yeah, and of course Daka is not alone here tonight, as me, Kjell Verstappen, will be joining him at this iconic track she mentions. So as usual, it's Gary Donegan, first one out.
It's become such a routine. It's become as much of a routine for us as the intro.
Basically, yeah. He's just part of the intro now, you know.
It's like we, I started off and say, hey guys, name the track, introduce you, and then so Gary Donegan is the first car out on track.
That's just the usual thing. Anyways, let's see if he will be the first one later on in like an hour and a bit to cross the line, as he'll probably be attempting to do that.
Let's see, of course, he'll be probably a man with a fire in his belly after last round, because he has just been dispossessed of his championship lead there. By dispossessed, I mean he's 1 point behind Cookie Games now, but I know how competitive these guys are. They are not going to be willing to give an inch, and I expect Gary to try and come back firmly at Cookie Games. Cookie Games will be looking to hold on at the top of the standings there. That's why we love league racing, that's why we love this division. Gary Donegan then just preparing to start first of what should be a few flying laps there, unless I've jinked many crashes. Let's see how the Irishman is able to get on then as he kicks it off there out of the bus stop chicane for what will be the first time in the session there. Up on the throttle there, he's got overtake mode activated down the short burst towards the first corner at La Source there. Breaking down into first gear there, rotates the car through the apex, now power on through the exit, nice and clean from Gary there as he sprints on the short dip towards Eau Rouge, and the quick rise up through Radion there on to the Kemmel Straight there, and DRS will be open now as he swings to the right, and in overtake mode DRS open, he cruises up 440 kilometers an hour there, crazy speed on the first of the main long straights here. Two very long full throttle zones on this circuit, and that's just one of them there as he sprints down towards Ravage there, holds it tight on the inside of the corner there, second gear trying to rotate the car, short shifts up the fourth there, a little bit of a wobble, but he keeps the traction down there. The Racing Point flies it through the corner with no name, the only unnamed corner at this circuit there. That's what you'll have to see as he cruises at high apex speed, 260 kilometers an hour through the apex of Pouon there in sixth gear, seventh gear now is on the approach to Le Fond. Again, I have no idea how to pronounce that corner name, but here he goes now as he approaches Stavlo there at the end of the second sector there, gets a strong exit off the corner there, flies it through, starting the second extremely long full throttle zone on this track. They're gearing up for Blanchimont. Again, one of the most iconic iconic corners on the track and on the calendar. This track is just full of them. I don't know what I'm saying. Down towards the final two corners now. The bus stop chicane takes the first one in second gear. The second part of the corner in first gear. Now short shifting, run up to the line. Gary Donegan kicks off the session with a 43 flat. That's a quick time for a banker lap. And he puts himself at the top, and let's see what the follow-up times are from his rivals. And of course, Cookie Games puts it just 100th of a second quicker. Typically close margins between these two, they get on the boards.
And Nico crossing the line, and he comes up in a 43.5, half a second behind Gary Donegan, and Maledictus 2/10 behind that again.
Got a Haas coming to Linus YHYY there. He interrupts the kind of sequence of Red Bull and Racing Point drivers. We have V Morgan slots in behind them on a 44.2. Of course, this will be the first run of lap times there, kicking off there as Rick moves up into P4 just behind Nico there. Two championship rivals, pretty clear at the top, but such early days in the session there, you can never be sure of what the outcome is going to be. You've got two drivers sitting times on mediums there. Strategy should be a pretty standard soft to medium, but these guys...
Matty up into P3 there. Good lap time from the Alpha driver.
And Dan goes into P6, but Matty is right in amongst it. We've seen his pace, he's just not converted it into results so far. Been quite unlucky in a lot of the races there. And he currently is the only driver that's really gone near those marks set by Cookie and Gary. Matty a good lap there, and currently top 3 are well clear of the rest of the field. Let's see how the rest of the session plays out.
Yeah, and I think he's just one Renault on this run, still to go into more race, and he's heads into the pits though. Not looking for any other drive, but anyways, as you might have said, or the strategy is an easy soft to medium, as the medium's already lost almost a full race, so we should not see too much variation. Perhaps some opposite strategies. Well, let's see how that pans out.
What we could see, and this would be very interesting, if we get a relatively early safety car, drivers pitting early onto mediums and trying to stretch them up to the end of the race, we'll see how that plays out. I think Eloy Mark is one of the drivers on laps at the moment. There are several drivers just going to be heading into the pits as of now. Mark not setting a time yet on a flyer as he goes through the launch one there, easy flat in 8th, and now cruises down up the hill towards the bus stop chicane there, takes it in first gear. They're looking for rotation as opposed to traction, and now on the short sprint down to the line there, Eloy Mark puts himself P10 there, the 10th of the drivers into the 43s, and I was prepared to say make it 11 drivers into the 43s, but Killer Blue has let me down there, unfortunately. He is into the pits there.
That's unfortunate indeed. No one really seems to be on a lap, of course the track being that long, 7 kilometers and 4 meters if I'm correct. Yeah, it takes a long time to get back into the pits and go for another one, so don't expect to see 4 runs here, just 3.
Yes, indeed. I think Jekyll may be the next driver to start a lap, though I don't think anyone's actually on a flying lap at this point. Apart from maybe Hardwork. No, he's not got his ERS turned up, so this might be the quietest theory we've ever seen in the quali session. Be closest, but I'll leave you to cover this one there. Jekyll over the line. He's trying to work himself into that championship. But there, yeah, he's got an opportunity here at Spa. Let's see how he gets on.
Coming from the source into first gear and shifted up to second and third, down into what is called turn 2. Coming up to Eau Rouge and already on. Let's see how he takes this in 8, flat out as they go. 3:17 on the exit there. Opens the ears onto the Camel Straight, coming up to the Lacombe section. About 340 these drivers hits. Set to 29.6 into the first sector. Leaves a bit of apex there. Takes it nice and cleanly down into turn 9S and now into Rivage, I think it's called. And that's a difficult corner, easy to look up, but Jacob does it quite nicely. Down into second gear, up to 4th and 5th. The no-name corner incoming. Turn 11, and on the exit down towards Pujon. You don't want to touch that inside curb, and Jacob stays nicely away from that. And then the second apex, you don't need to clip either, because that'll send you spinning down into Le Fagnet. 13 and 14, that is. Takes it quite conservatively. And into Savalon. Leaves the apex again a bit. On the exit here though, on turn 16. Down towards Blanchimont. This is just easy flat for these cars these days. So nothing real exciting, at least in qualifying. Down into the bus stop chicane though. 100 meters is the breaking point for Jekyll then. 90 and in 20 first gear. Flicks it through. 3rd, 4th, and across the line he goes in a 143.565 and he goes into P4.
200ths of a second clear of Eloy Nico there. A lot of drivers on their outlaps, they're preparing for a lap. We do have a couple of drivers on flyers though. I believe Super Gamer, no, he's backed off a lap there, so I think Eloy Maurice might be one of the only drivers on laps at the moment there. He's been a little bit of inside info, guys. He's been quite vocal about potentially being a contender in this track there. He does look very quick here. Let's see how he's able to get on here as he approaches. He comes through into the 3rd sector there at Stavelo there. It's a 15-1 to the first 2 sectors, which is only just off the marks of Cookie and Gary. So he is looking quite impressive there in that Renault. Let's see if he's able to get on there as he's got Blue on Shimon and the bus stop chicane to negotiate. There he's in overtake mode. They're getting the maximum power and top gear there, approaching 330 kilometers. But manages to hook. That's going to cost him some time up to the line though, and he does lose a little bit. He is in the mix there. P4 or just over 3.5 mark from but he is indeed in front of Jaco and the rest of the pack. P4 for Maurice there is a good time.
Now Cookie coming through the bus stop chicane. I think he got some slipstream from his teammate there, coming around the last corner across the line and goes to 142.724. This is a really good lap. And Gary Donegan in behind, just improves by
2.5
yeah, he's 2.5 tenths behind, improves by half a temp I think. And I think Rick is on an invalid one, so look in behind is wide for Y. Looking at a 4 tenths improvement, because this could be a good one. Down into the bus stop once again. I'm gonna clip that curb a bit. He does that nicely. Leaves the second for the second part as well. Gets the power down quite nicely, and he comes across the line with a 143.4, set him into P4.
HYY 1, 2, 3. He's lost a little bit of ground as the championship standings are concerned, so he's looking to get himself back in. Looks like a decent performance so far there. 43.4 is up there,
Daniel,
but it's not as good as his teammates, Mark. Daniel and Morgan both improve, and they're beginning to bridge the gap to that pretty top 3. And as I say that, look, Killer Blue and Oyster and all these guys improving, getting closer to Matty's time. Matty himself, though, is coming round the final couple of corners now, hard on the curve through the second part of the bus stop chicane now, flooring it to the line, and he does improve there by 0.04 of a second there on a 43 flat. So still we have an isolated top 3, I think. Cookie Games though has set quite the marker, 2.5 tenths clear. But Oyster, Killer Blue, Daniel, Morgan and HYY and Maurice even all improving, and you can see that kind of gulf there. J. Cole that was comfortably sitting in P4 or 5 now down in P11 there, and it's very tight in that midfield. So now with less than 6 minutes to go, we have an intriguing situation on our hands then for the remainder of this qualifying session. Cookie on pole, Gary Blue looking to dispossess that. There, those two drivers in the 42s, and a lot of drivers
into P3
wow,
there.
yeah. And he backs up his teammate there with a 43 flat. Very nice lap. Goes ahead of ILR team Matty. That's a good lap from Maledictus there. About 3 tenths off the pole at the moment, but Cookie Games his teammate in the prime position, but all these drivers still have another run to complete, and everything can change. Still 5 minutes to go. Keep your eye on this.
And I see Harry Noir coming around the bus stop now, and he seems to be in a quick one. Coming around, leaves the curb a bit on the entry there. Let's see where he comes out. He sets a 43.1 into P5. Good lap.
Very good lap indeed there. He is well and truly in contention then in this session. I'm looking to see any other drivers on laps there. Eloine Mark, yep, just caught that. He's just coming around the final corner now there in the Ferrari, currently bottom of the times being set, but he moves himself right up to P8. I know I point it out so much, but again, the second through 17th, less than a second.
Yeah, and this is the longest track on the calendar as well. So, yeah, of course, improves out a bit. Let's see, Super Gamer is 1 on a lap. Coming around to 16, and he gets a bit of slipstream from his teammate there. Nicely coordinated, and
you gotta be careful. They both went to the same side quite briefly there. I was hoping they would have a spectacular 320 km/h crash. Super Gamer's gonna try and utilise that slipstream to good effect there as he careers down to the penultimate and now final corner there through the bus stop chicane there. Hard throttle and exit there. Currently not setting a time yet. His first time goes 16 or 43.5. And to be honest, I wouldn't expect the 43.5 to be a 16th place time, but it is close in the session there. Couple of tenths on his time, and he's looking at challenging for top 10 here.
Yeah, definitely. Just 3 tenths into P7, so it's quite close and all. And still McCrew and Kermensel is still not have set a lap time, so they'll be looking to get off that last row. The drivers will be going out for the last run, I reckon.
Yeah, there's quite hefty amount of pressure on these guys' shoulders. So they're going to have to deliver on these final flying laps. For how close the grid is, you have to say Cookie Games quite isolated out front there. I don't think Gary Donegan's going to be too happy about that. And of course, XCI Dan, his recent qualifying form has really hurt him in the last few races. He was doing fine with it, but these last few races he is just beginning to lose a little bit of touch in that championship race. He needs to pull out better laps in the dying moments of sessions, and that's what's going to give him that better chance of matching it up with Cookie and Gary, who are consistently at the front of the field and currently just look on another level at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't know if it's due to Dan maybe not improving as much as the others, or just anything else really. Just not in form, don't really know, but he's not that far off at the moment, considering he's normally usually like mid-pack, high ends of the top 10.
We will see how the end of this session unfolds then. Watching, I believe, who's on a lap? I think Nico is on a lap then. So he's going to maybe try and get another one in, but I don't know if he's going to have the ERS to do so, unfortunately. So this may be his last chance. Of course, he was one of the fastest times at the beginning of the session. That 43.5 will see he's obsolete. He's going to have to improve. Spaniard exits the final sector of the lap. Then there is 3/10 up at his time, and that would be quite an improvement to put him up and around Killer Blue. We'll see if he can go even better in this final sector of the lap then. The Racing Point cruising up to Blodgebon there. Of course, very easy flatten these cars there. They create so much downforce and mechanical grip. And now he exits hard braking zone there. Manages to clip the inside curbs there nicely. Opening up the throttle now on exit there. Up to the line there. Sprinting. Does a 43 flat, and that's a good time. Puts himself in the mix there. P5 for Eloy Nico there. As a lot of the top names, they've started their final laps, and they've got to try and get the most out of it now.
Yeah, I see Cookie has backed off of his lap. I think he's going to try for another one. Nico actually might give Gary here a bit of a slipstream.
Oh yeah.
We should look at that. It might help Gary in the hunt for pole position. Anyway, 30 seconds to go. Let's see if anyone is actually now on the lap.
Several drivers nearing the end of their flying laps. Gary hit 347 kilometers an hour down the straight, which is frankly ridiculous speed. And I believe Carmentos has finally got on the board, but it's not been a good showing from the Toro Rossos so far, given that they're always pretty nifty in the qualifying session. It's not looked so far. Cookie is trying to time his nose. He's not going to make it because he's not got enough momentum over the line. He crosses the line now. He won't improve on his time almost certainly. So now we're looking to the rest of the grid here to try and show up here at the end of this session there. Dylan coming around. He's currently bottom of the times. He's backed off.
Yeah.
So he will not improve on that time. I saw someone else near the end of the lap. That is YHYY. He's 10.5 down on his lap though, so he's going to have to find some time. So this sector has he? Let's find out. Run up to the line there. No, he does not improve. He finishes a 10th down on his time. He will be no higher than 12th and possibly lower. Let's see how the rest of it unfolds there. Cookie will not improve. Killer Blue up to the line. Goes P3. Good lap. Gary Donegan runs wide. Going through the bus stop chicane there. Is that going to cost him there? He floors it on the traction. Does he help that mark of Cookie? No, he's down on his time. So 43.1 and Cookie Games is looking at pole position. I'm not going to call it yet though. We've still got a lot of very, very fast drivers. The set times there.
McCrew
up to the line. P15 though for him there. He will not be higher than that. As XCI Dan is 3/10 up at his time. Now that'd be quite handy for him. It's putting him well inside the top 10 there. Can he find more time? Near the end of this lap, still got Maledictus, Mateo, or a couple of other drivers as well on laps. Still out on track there. XI Dan out the final corner there. Goes P8 then, just shy of Harry's mark. Oysen is going to back off that lap though. He's up the road. Harry Noirg is coming round the final corner now. Mate is just up ahead of him on track, I believe. No, he's just behind him actually. Harry goes P7 though. Mate is now goes up P2 in front of Gary Donegan then. That's quite important. We'll see how that shapes up. Maledictus now come towards the end, but he makes an error. Coming out of the final corner there. Is he going to improve? Yes! A Red Bull 1-2 as it stands. I think it's going to stay that way because Oysen is not on a flyer. The Red Bulls go 1-2 in the qualifying session there. And Cookie gets pole with his nearest rival in P4. Gary will be gutted. 4 drivers getting into the 42s. Impressive stuff. But yeah, the Red Bulls heading out the front row. Are they going to coordinate this start? It's going to give them a huge advantage in this race.
Yeah, and knowing Gary, he'll not be happy with this at all. Just having 2 of those Red Bulls in front, and it's Cookie Games taking a pole position ahead of Maledictus. And behind that is Matty and Gary Donegan, then Killer Blue and Nico, Harry Noark and XCI Dan, and Oyvind and Maurice rounding out the top 10, all within a bit more than 5 tenths. Then we have Mark, Daniel, B. Morgan, Jekyll, surprisingly low down, White YY, McCrew, Super Gamer, Rick, Carmensless, and Dylan, the Tutor Rossens, rounding off the grids in the last row here at Belgium.
That is going to be it then for your qualifying session, but you still have 22 laps of racing ahead of you there. Those 2 Toro Rossos at the back, you usually expect them to be a bit higher than that. We'll see. They do have a lot of time to make up for that. It's still bright and sunny then for the race. And when we cut to the grid, you're going to see 2 Red Bulls heading out as they lead away for the formation lap. We'll see how the drivers outside the top 10 approach the tyre strategy. If any of them want to go reverse strategy, starting on mediums, ending on softs, we will see. But we could see a big championship race here, because Cookie, having just wrestled that championship lead from Gary Donegan, if he finishes ahead of him in that race, he's a little bit more isolated. Can't say it's going to be over yet, but Cookie Games has a really good chance here of establishing himself.
Yeah, and let's see how XCI Dan, I think he was in 8th place, how he gets up the grids. Jaco as well, been down in 14th. And he might try the alternate strategy, and we'll have to see about that when we get onto the tires.
Let's have a look then. As the
There
drivers
certainly are a few drivers trying that alternate strategy.
6 in total, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that being Mark, the 2 Haas drivers of Daniel and White YY, Rick, and the 2 Toro Rosses of Commensalist and Dylan on those mediums. And Jaco, B. Morgan, McCrew, and Super Gamer just opting for the soft end. And of course, the top 10 just starting on the used softs they have in quality.
When would it be the day that LOE Mark didn't start on the softest compounded tyres?
Well, they have come mercy.
Yeah, he is gonna... I guess the thing is though, these medium runners, they're gonna look to try and keep pace with the soft runners at the start of the race, which isn't that hard to do here at Spa. It's very powerful RS when it is activated on the 3rd lap of the race. So if they're able to keep pace with the top 10, that do wonders for their chances in this race, and trying to run a reverse strategy. But I don't think your Red Bulls at the front will be thinking too much about that, and Cookie Games in particular will be focusing on 2 men in particular, currently sitting 4th and 8th behind him there. What does Maledictus do in this position though? This is one of his best positions he's been in all season. He's been quite unlucky, and this could be a chance for him to grab a lot of championship points and just get a good result on the board, which would do wonders for his confidence as a driver. We'll see how he gets on, but what does he do? Does he fight Cookie, or does he play a rear gunner role, try and protect him from the cars behind here? What do you think, Maledictus? How's he going to play this one?
I honestly have not really a clue. I think if Cookie is the fast one out here, Maledictus will do that rear gunner role, but at Belgium it's quite difficult. ERS terrain's quite fast here, and it's just quite easy to overtake, honestly. DRS being powerful. So let's see how that's gonna get on then.
Here we go then. We are going to line up on the grid as Cookie Games for not the first time this season, that's for sure. Brings the field round, and we're going to kick off a race at Spa. You know, in the game and in real life, you can always rely on it being a good race. Hopefully, once again, D2 will put on a show as Cookie Games takes his position. The best place you could hope to be was a long run down that Camel straight there. We'll see if he is under pressure from the pack of 19 cars that will be chasing him down for the next 22 laps, about 45 minutes. We have 5 lights Lights out, away we go there. Cookie Games leads the way from the line. Looks like he's held that lead ahead of his teammate Maledictus there. He tries to come in front of Matty. He's up the inside, going into turn one there, and is clean into P2 then. As we're looking, Gary losing a few places there. And the melee at turn one looks like it's nice and clean there. A lot of drivers going wheel to wheel there. Gary and Harry in the mark, wheel to wheel, down into Eau Rouge. And eventually Harry has to yield that place on the entry. That's going to give Oysen a low look at the Greek. Sitting in behind him there in the Williams there. Up at the front of the field, Matty's going to have a run at Cookie Games there. And Maledictus is going to have a run at both of them there. They're going to go almost 3 wide. Going down into Lake Cup. Cookie breaks very early. Maledictus is round. Maledictus gets caught on the rear wheel of Matty there. And that's going to present an obstacle for the rest of the field. Several drivers cutting the corner there. Gary losing out to Oysen, who's made a great start there. Harry looking at the back of Killer Blue there for P3. He goes to the outside of Ravage. Eventually drops that one back there. But Maledictus, you have to feel so bad for the guy getting caught up in that incident there. They tried to go 3 wide. That's never going to work. And he gets caught up there. But Matty, it's been a dream start for him. 2 seconds clear, just half a lap in.
Yeah, Matty's because of that basically carnage there, as Oysen and Harry are side by side through Lefagnet. Looks like Harry just has that. No, Oysen comes back on the exit there.
Gets it. Wow.
And he takes P4. And he has a major start, coming up from P9 to P4.
A great bit of overtaking and track positioning there from Oysen there as he moves himself up into 4th place on the road.
Look at Gary.
Gary is hounding the back of Harry Noir there towards Blanchemont. You have to be brave to go for a move into there. Gary sits back for now there, cruising up towards the bus up chicane there. Harry defends the inside line hard. To the outside then goes Gary in the only spot he has to go. And he might just pull it off, you know, because he's got the inside line. But Harry's not going to give it up easily though. Gets better traction on the outside there with more momentum off the of the championship contender there. Championship leader Cookie Games is in P2, trying to chase down Matty up the road then. Looking in this big train then behind Harry. And of course no DRS on these first 2 laps then. It's not quite allowed to be activated then, and these guys all have to slipstream. It's going to balance out. The XCI Dan is holding up a bit of a train behind him. Their Mark gets way out of shape going through Radion and almost takes out McCrew. McCrew is able to navigate that though, and here comes B Morgan in up behind the Ferrari then, closing in down the Campbell Straight there. He's got a good run in 8th gear, pulls towards the inside there. Does he commit to it on the brakes? No, leaves that one to Mark.
And behind Jacob getting past Y4Y, pulling down into Lacombe. And there's been a few drivers who had to pit for damage. Daniel, Supergamer and Carmentalist. And there are respectively on mediums as Supergamer and Carmentalist on Harveston. Bit of a gap behind Oysen now.
I think Dan has front wing damage. I'm just looking here for the point. Yeah, he does have definite front wing damage
right
on the right wing plate. As well, we've got battle for P2. Killer looks to the outside of Lefagnet, doesn't pull off the move, has to back out of it then versus the Slovenian. This is all helping Matty up at the front of the race there, and further back there Morgan is able to pick his way past Mark there. Coming back at Jekyll into Stavolo, runs a little bit deep on the exit, but he is able to stay ahead on McLaren. Jekyll will not be happy with that. He's going to look to fight back, but he's got to be wary of his teammate Rick, who's closing fast in the slipstream, pulls toward the inside. Are they going to go wheel to wheel through Blanchemont? No, he backs out of it, does Rick, and leaves that to Jekyll there to have a look at YY further up the road there. Dan's still holding these guys up. He's of course holding everyone, backing them all up with that front wing damage. So much less downforce on that Mercedes, and he holds McCrew going through that final corner. But now Cookie Games is going to be under pressure here.
Yeah, indeed, as the DRS will be enabled right now, so Killer Blue might have a run on the Red Bull driver coming up over Radion then. Let's see how Cookie Games go for this. Does he fight Killer Blue? Or does he let the Ferrari go? Let's see how he does it. Cookie might actually stay ahead. Don't think Killer Blue is actually close enough. In behind Gary, look into the outside, but not committing.
McCrew cruises past Dan in the braking zone then. He is up to 9th. And of course, getting stuck up behind that Mercedes with front wing damage, he's going to have to go there. Morgan is right there with his teammate there. What are they going to do at Mercedes there? Morgan goes to the inside. I don't think Dan's going to fight that one. He lets him straight through. YY down the inside of Eloise Mark, and he's going to get that move done then as Jekyll passes behind him with his teammate Rick until we got yellows in sector 1. And I think car's going off. Super Gamer has gone off there. Carmentos is way down as well. Several drivers losing out as Rick is going to be the next driver's challenge. Mark is sliding down the field there because Dylan is now up and alongside him there. The Dutchman goes through into 15th place there, past Eloise Mark, who continues to slide down. I don't know.
Yeah, his left end plate seems to be gone.
That would explain things, because he was really struggling. You see, the car's just not quite rotating the way he wants it to. The next driver to challenge XCI Dan is going to be YY. Oh yeah.
Oysen looking to the back of Killablu. He's looking towards the outside. Killablu defends. Oysen, can he hang it around the outside? Still there, and he
forced him off the track.
Killablu white.
Killablu rejoins the race with a spinner in the background. That's Maurice. Maurice going round as Oysen is going to move. I think Killablu may have been given an illegal overtake on the outside, so I think he's had to give that one up, which is a little bit unfair, I have to say, because he was forced there. It's got more swapping and changing there. Maurice rejoins in 13th place, just in front of Maledictus, who's had a spin himself there. That's going to get very tasty there. Killablu is going to be under pressure from Harry Noir. They're coming down the straight, both with DRS, but Harry's got a very strong toe. Right up behind the Ferrari, pulls towards the inside there. Killablu, they're both closing rapidly on Oyster. There's Harry going to try and get 2 in 1. No, doesn't commit on the brakes versus the Irishman. That's going to give Killablu a chance to regain momentum and take that 4th place away from Harry Noir, which he does. Is he going to cover it off there, going down into Rivage? Yes, he keeps that 4th place just about, fending off the attack from Harry, but that is going to hurt his chances there. Oysen up into P3, showing very strong pace, and at the moment there, he's not too far away from Cookie Games. If he has great race pace, he might even be able to close up on him. Yeah,
definitely, and in the meantime, it's XCI Dan who had to pit for that from wing damage, and he's onto mediums, and he'll be looking to finish the race. Notice, but that's a bit of a blow in his title chances. For now.
Everything can change in the next 18 laps of this race there, so we'll see if those changes do indeed take place there. The 2 racing points sit at the back of this group then, currently fighting what looks to be over P2 now as Oysen heads them up.
Gary is closing up to the back of Harry Noir once again. Can he move towards the outside? Harry goes defensive.
Oh, they're both braking very late. Oh, he taps Killablu.
Seems to be fast.
Oh. Yeah.
And Nico in looking behind as well. Still side by side they go. And can Nico make something work? I don't think he can. And Gary looking towards the outside. Still side by side between these two.
They're wheel to wheel out of La Source then. On the run down towards Eau Rouge. Well, I'm afraid one of you is going to have to yield eventually. Going to go wheel to wheel. Gary has to back off eventually. Next to Harry, pushes him through the exit of Radio, and that's going to give Nico a chance here. He's got more momentum than the pair of them. Gary's going to pull up alongside Harry. Is Nico going to make it 3 wide? Goes down the middle there, goes past Harry there, and the 2 racing points are wheel to wheel. Down to Kemmel Straight. Nico's on the inside of Gary Donegan. Gary trying to hold it round the outside. Do they touch? No, it's nice and clean, and Gary gets in a 5th place as VSC has been brought out. What's going on there?
And it was Maurice and Dylan were side by side up onto Eau Rouge, and well,
yeah,
it's not going that well.
Oh dear, I think Maurice has damage, yep.
And the penalty as well, I saw. So not a great race for the Renault driver. He looked to have quite promising pace, but not made it to commit. Looking at the 2 starts from both the Williams, respectively 6th and 8th places up by Oysen and McCrew.
That is highly impressive then.
And safety car is coming to an end.
VSC is over now. Jaco heads up wrecking that McLaren battle that's getting very up close and personal on track. We'll see how that one shapes up as we're still looking at this battle. Now for P5 then, as Gary's lost a little bit of time having to battle with Harry and Nico there down towards from the bus stop down to Lake Holm. It's thrilling stuff there through the first sector of the lap. I tell you what, Nico might fancy his chances there. He's been generally been outperformed by Gary over the course of the season there, as Cookie Games comes in for a very early pit stop. That's interesting stuff there, because if there's a full safety car, he's running a risk here. Cookie pits in early then, and he might look to try and get that jump on Matty. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and he pits on those mediums as expected, coming out, and I think Dylan is following him in. I think because of damage, more so than because of strategy. But Cookie coming out, and he should be in P11. Yes, he is.
Nico trying to chase down Gary.
Nico. And Nico's turned his ERS down.
Doesn't look like he's going to attack him. He has to the inside and breaks early. I think that may have been coordinated there. I think Nico was just trying to defend. We've got yellows.
Super Gamer.
Super Gamer is off. And it sees he comes to a fine. I'm looking at the rotation of his car. He is definitely got front wing damage. And yeah, a nightmare race for him so far. Of course, there could be safety cars to salvage his chances, but he's nearly a lap down on his teammate already. Matty is already coming through Puon then. Super Gamer just going on to Stavlo, and he does crash. I'm not sure if he crashed it on purpose or on accident, but
gonna bring out something.
well, let's keep an eye out on that. There's still yellows there with the parked Alfa Romeo there. We'll see how that unfolds. It looks like we're going to get away with green flag racing. Harry Noirg is hassling the back of Nico. He won't be too happy with the way he lost out on the 4th place he was running, and then as he's got Nico right, well, he's right off the back of Nico, I should say, there in that slipstream now. He's got his ERS turned down just a little bit there. Nico is running an overtake mode, trying to keep ahead of the game, but the strong slipstream is keeping Harry in touch there as they fly it through. Launch him on further down the road. Rick has cruised past Jaco, yep, straight through into 9th place there, as now Oysen and Matty are going to pit there. Where do they come out? Particularly, where does Matty come out in relation to Cookie Games, who's had a clear run in this lap there? He's got no cars around him.
And Gary, Killer, and Harry Noirg staying out, and let's see where Cookie indeed comes out in perspective to Matty, for example. And he'll look like he has gained quite a bit, actually.
They're going to go side. I think Cookie's going to jump him, you know. Oh, he won't. Nice. Oh, he won't now, but he's going to have the momentum. He has the momentum. Let's see what happens here then. Cookie has a better run. See what goes down there as they go up through Radio there. He's got a much better run. He's going to have to try and get this done because Matty has the pressure tires. He's got a lot of pace in that car as well. So here comes Cookie Games now. Down the Kemmel straight, closing him down there. Going to go to the outside there. He's going to breeze past though. It's a formality at this point. Matty has to give it up. Cookie Games into the net lead of the race then. And undercut has paid off. He has the race lead. Well, not on track, but in terms of the net positions for the cars that have pitted there. And Matty, does he have a response to that? He's got to lap pressure tyres. He's got to get them up to temperature. Can he stay with Cookie Games?
Yeah, it's very important for the Alpha driver to actually do that. And he has been looking good on the softs, but can he convert that pace to the mediums? And let's see when actually Gary's going to respond to this, because his title rival basically has just pitted 2 laps earlier, and he might have gotten a massive undercut.
And he may come out very close to his teammate actually, because Nico was only about a second or so behind Gary, and has also gone for an undercut, and we saw how powerful it was. Just 1 lap, Cookie was able to jump ahead of Matty just about, so keep an eye on the 2 racing points here. They could be very close at the pit exit. We'll see how that one unfolds. As still McLaren's very tight on track. Morgan right up the back of McCrew. Both these guys have made pretty strong starts to this race, as Killer Blue now enters the pits. Gary Donegan, Harry, I think all the soft starters, the remainder of them anyway, will go out, apart from Jaco, who actually stays out with his teammate. Interesting stuff there.
Yeah, could have some DRS could benefit from, but anyway, let's see how Gary, Harry and Kilboo and all these guys really come out. The Cookie's already passed, and Matty's passed.
Oysen as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's way past Kilboo, and Nico actually gonna get close to Kilboo here.
He's definitely going to jump his teammate. Yeah, he's easily jumped his teammate there. Gary is lost out then. I saw Killaboo, I think he may have got held up in the pits a little bit. There was certainly some...
And Matty, again, on the back of Cookie Games then.
Pulls to the outside, he's got him surely there. Cookie Games has nothing to fight with, and this, you could be watching this for a little while there, swapping and changing down that very long Kemmel straight with powerful DRS or further down the field there. I've just seen Gary Donegan has cruised past Nico there into the braking zone at Lake Com. I don't know if that was coordinated. Nico backs off. Gary up in a P7 now. He's got to give chase now. He's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to get up to his title rival, who's locked in battle for the net lead of the race there. Still 2 cars ahead, not pitting. Rick, I think maybe the last of the medium starters that's still out there, and he's going to be stretching long into this race then, and probably might be getting caught eventually from behind. We'll see how that unfolds. Jaco will probably pit at the end of this lap. Matty holds your net race lead, but Cookie Games is going to be putting him under a lot of pressure, I can tell you that there. Watch this space there. We're just 7 and a bit laps into this Belgian Grand Prix. We've got a lot of racing ahead of us. Don't look away.
Yes, just one thing I want to point out, Maledictus has made his way quite back up, space looking quite decent, and he's now with a pack like McCrew and B Morgan, which was running around P8.
That's really impressive actually.
Yeah, and Jacob is now into the pits. The last soft runner is going to get those red wall tires away then, and he'll be going on to the mediums, which will be quite fresh in comparison to Cookie and Oysen, for example.
but he will be sacrificing a lot of track position there. He will be quite far behind when it's all said and done. He's only just emerged from his pit box now. He will be behind Morgan and even Maledictus potentially. It's going to be close between these guys. And yeah, they're going to be close, I think, going up the hill. But up at the front there, I'm watching Cookie Games trying to get back. He's saving his ERS. No, look at that. Look at the graphic. He is not planning on overtaking Matty, I don't think. Now, Matty's going to go defensive regardless there. And he's going to cruise up to the outside, actually. But no, I don't think he was planning on making a move there. I think he's going to save it and try and go later. The one man that's not holding back is Harry Noir as he goes to the outside of Lake Cobb versus Nico. A little bit of contact there. Can he pull off this move? Nico's holding it side by side through the second part of the corner there as they go wheel to wheel. Nico is just about able to fend off the move. Harry is looking for that move. Doesn't quite get it though. Has to yield it for now as Maledictus slots in behind Jekyll eventually, who's able to hold that 11th place. Now fresh tyres. Jekyll is only one lap fresher than 2 cars ahead of him, but now he's going to look to charge and get up to them. Still the top 2 dueling out there with Cookie looking like he's playing a long game there, sitting behind Matty for now.
Yeah, definitely looking like that happens, but one thing to point out, Rick has only lost like 3/10 in comparison to Matty this lap. So his pace looking good, so maybe he can do something at the end of the race, perhaps going on to softs at some point. Anyway, Maledictus is looking close to the back of Jaco. Is he gonna go for it into Blanchimont? Or is he... No, he's gonna stay back then. He look for a bit that he might want to have a go.
He might try into the bus stop though, as he comes up almost alongside the McLaren there. He's looking behind him there, has a look to the inside, but doesn't fully commit on the brakes. Jacob just runs a tad wide. Killer Blue with the fastest lap of the race there, and obviously the P3 may try and hunt down the top 2 as Cookie Games going to try and look for a lot of fastest laps being set up and down the field by those on the fresher medium tyres there. Virtually the entire field is on fresh mediums now, certainly the top half of the field there, with the exception of Rick running along at the front. Cookie Games now, he's got the overtake mode on now. He's looked very quick down the straight, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to ILR Team Matty. No, he's going to sit back for now then. Harry Noir is the next car that's pretty close behind someone not going to go for it. Now it's this battle for P9 there. Morgan is going to stay ahead, but watch behind there as Maledictus closing on Jekyll. Not going to commit to anything on the brakes though. Sits in P12 for now, but he does have pretty... Well, I must be mistaken there. He's got older tyres than the cars around him there, having went for an undercut. And that may cost him in this fight. Jacob with the fresh tyres is going to try and get a move on there, but he is going to find himself pretty difficult. Well, he's going to find it pretty difficult to overtake the cars, the likes of Morgan and the crew just in front of him there. Still, Rick leads the race, but he's actually matching Matty's pace now. Very impressive stuff there. His Super Gamer is backed out of the session eventually after crashing out. But yeah, look at the gap between Rick and Matty. It's not moving at all.
No, it was about the same one lap ago, so it's looking quite good for Rick then.
We'll see how long it stays out, but that gap at the front still very static there. Now, could start increasing if Cookie fancies his chances of getting a move done, and he is sitting a bit closer to the back of that Alfa Romeo there as they go through the bus stop chicane for the 10th time in this race. Rick now starts lap 11 there. We're nearing the halfway mark now in this Belgium. We are shaping up here for what could be an enthralling into this race. Where's Rick going to end up, and where is he going to finish when he cruising on the soft tyres at the end of the race? Should it all go to plan? Cookie Games, I think he might fancy his chances this time. He's got full ERS, they're almost there. Matty gets hugely out of shape through Radial, they're just about able to save it now. Cookie Games is up and alongside him. DRS open and he's through. Cookie Games takes second place on the road. He moves immediately to the inside, trying to cover him off, but he glides clear on the straight there. Harry Noir trying to close in on Nico, but he's not got the ERS to really convert it. One man that's got a chance, so is Jekyll. He pulls to the inside of LR McCrew there, going into Lake Cobb, and through goes Jekyll there. He finally gets the move done on the Williams and up in the 10th place. Our next up for him is Morgan. He's got work to do, trying to get up to it, but he has just about got DRS as it stands there. Battle for 7th heating up. Battle for P2 on track is certainly holding up, but Matty is struggling to stay with him there. This is a crucial couple of laps for Matty there, as Cookie Games is going to utilise all the ERS he saves to try and pull clear. The gap's almost a second. Over a second it just touches now. Can Cookie Games run away with this one?
Yeah, he saves off all his ERS behind Matty and now has made a push for it, and he has basically broken that 1 second already. 7 in purple sectors, 6/10 up in his best time, which is 1:47.4, so he's looking to get into the 46s already.
Wow.
And we have a big train by Nico now, which leads all the way up to Maledictus.
Indeed. So, I have a feeling Harren Warg is getting a little bit impatient there. He'll be looking to get that move done sooner rather than later. Maledictus, yeah, he is up alongside.
But backs out of it then. Going into the chicane, and McCrew holds on to that P11 for now. And he doesn't have the arrest Williams driver, just out of the seconds. That'd be crucial. Matty though has somehow gone back.
Wow! I don't know how he's managed that. He's got a great run.
Perhaps.
Potentially, but Matty doesn't get a great run off of Ranning on either there, so he's got the DRS open there as he tries to glide up to the back of the Slovenian there. Cookie covers the inside line there. He's going to fight this one a bit harder than he did last time, but Matty's still got his nose in front there. Cookie has to back it out on the brakes as Gary Donegan glides past Killer Blue up into 6th. Harry Noirg also cruises through. He gets past Nico up into 7th there, and the gap to Rick still static.
On the inside of McCrew, but doesn't make it stick on the brakes. The inside is quite difficult to brake on.
He's still very, very close to the back of that Williams. Feints to the inside, doesn't commit to it on the brakes. But Matty reclaiming that second place. I think Cookie must have made an error because he was about 5.5 seconds behind Rick, and that gap's now over 6. And looked like he was going to pull clear. Now he's got more work to do. Matty reclaims the net race lead here, and I think Rick is praying for a safety car at this point now. That'd be absolutely crucial in his chances of a great result here. But Cookie is going to have to reclaim that. Great determination from Matty. He's looking hungry to try and take this one. Cookie will be equally so. But look at Oysen. That's all this battling, and the Irishman is working his way into contention. He's just over a second behind this leading pair now.
Look at Maledictus closing up to the back of McCrew around the outside. Can he make this one stick?
He's got him already,
side by side.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got it done before Bunchim already. That's a seal move.
Right down the end. What's he done there? He's completely missed his braking point. Gets a 10-second penalty and almost wipes out Maledictus. I have no idea what went on there. Dan is going to take that position. I don't know what happened there. McCrew just seemingly... I don't know what's happened. What?
I didn't see it, to be honest, so I can't really comment on that. But look at Oysen. He's now within a second of Cookie Games and has the DRS.
DRS, yeah. Oh,
Cookie runs into
he's
the back
hit him, he's hit him. He's going to go right. Oh, he just about saves it. They get yellows in the first 2 sectors there, as I think that was just someone's gone slow. That's Rick. Rick's off. He throws away potential great finish there. He's got a lot of ground to make up now as he loses out to Killer Blue now eventually.
Rick has damage. His whole left side of the wing is gone.
Yeah, he must have. Yeah, I must have lost it on traction. Going through Lake Com. Oh, that's gutting for Rick. In such a comfortable position there. He was looking at like he was still going to emerge. Not far off.
Oysen picks up a time penalty.
Ooh,
quite crucial there. And Gary and Killer Blue looking to close up to this terrain as well. This could make for an enthralling end of the race. We might have a 5-car terrain for the lead.
Oh, Division 2. Division 2.
Once again.
We are shaping up for quite the finale here in Spa. We now have 3 cars within a second of each other and another car looking to join them there as Rick continues to slide down. He's going to have to pit and his chances of a great result have been sliced down to almost nil as Oysen runs wide. He's overshot the last corner there, and that's going to put Gary Donegan almost up to P3 there. He's going to outpower him on the exit there. Gary's up into 3rd. Oysen made such great progress, and now that's quite a major setback in this race for him now. He's tucked in underneath Gary's rear wing. But if these guys battle too hard, they've got to be careful there. They don't let the top 2 get away now. Try to close up again, up behind Matty. Now the Dane still holds the lead there, but he's going to be under more and more pressure there as Cookie is not going to relent. He will not give up. And now he closes in there. Here comes Cookie Games now, closing in a slipstream there up to the back of Matty. Pulls to the inside. He's going to get him, I think. He's got his nose in front towards the corner. Cuts in front of the Alfa Romeo and gets himself up into the lead of the race there as Oysen making that error. Gary up to 3rd, and now as Nico gets on the inside of Harry Noirg. They're going side by side through the Lee Com. Nico now has the inside line for the final part of the chicane. He's ahead, and Morgan tries to slip through there. Opportunistic driving from B. Morgan in their last season's runner-up, and side by side with Harry Noirg there. Round the outside goes the Greek, trying to hold it in the Renault. He's still wheel to wheel with the Mercedes there. Down into the no-name corner. They're still side by side. This is enthralling stuff. Still wheel to wheel on the exit there. Better wheel banging now towards Pool on there. So hard to go side by side there. Two cars do not fit through here, surely. And Morgan eventually has to yield. What incredible racing between these two. Harry gets up into 7th there. Jekyll is now fancying a move.
Look at the time penalty.
Oh my god.
It's XCI Dan.
Oh dear, as Maledictus picks up a penalty as well. Dan,
Matty looks in touch to Cookie in front then.
Oh, he is, yeah, that's outside of DRS then. Crucially, he's got to try and work his way back in. Now, Cookie, of course, he tried this exact strategy, saving ERS. Last time he made a mistake. This time, he's looking a little bit more imperious and trying to move away in this race then. He does have a decent advantage up at the front, and there's your confirmation. 46-2. That is a huge lap from Cookie Games. 1.3 second lead now. Does Matty G have a response to this?
It doesn't look like he has at the moment. It's only a 35% ERS. Still, Cookie has more, even after that lap. That's insane. Looking in behind, it's looking like Killblue has a bit of a run on Oysen, but Oysen, of course, having that DRS, has something to defend himself with, and I don't think Killblue is close enough. In behind, let's see if Harry or one of these guys can make a move. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen either.
Dan getting closer to Maledictus as well in the background. Doesn't look like any move's going to come off there. Rick has just emerged from the pit lane then. He's side by side with Daniel there, way down in 17th place there. Daniel's able to keep that position now. He's got Carmentos right there behind him as well. This battle, not for any points at the moment there, but it can all change. We'll see what goes down. Cookie Games still continuing to march on, and what Matty's got to be careful of now, Gary Donegan closing out, and he's dragging Oysen and Killebrew with him there. So even though the battle for the win is beginning to go a little bit more one-sided then, Cookie trying to establish himself out in front, but the battle for P2 is certainly not over there. You can see fantastic racing up and down the field. Rick's off again at Lacombe.
As Carmentos has left the session then as well. It's looking like Gary's almost within that seconds. And they'll be trying his absolute best to get within that and get that DRS of the Danishman ahead. I don't think he is, he might be. Just at the next point there. We'll have a look at that. I don't think, no, Gary doesn't, isn't in DRS just yet.
But he has closed in to within a second then. As soon as I say that, he drops back out. Fantastic. But
commentator's curse, isn't it?
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Does he get it though? Down the Kemmel straight there. Matty is trying to rally the troops here and get up to the back of Cookie Games. But Cookie, I think he's managed this very, very well. Gary Donegan, I don't think will have that DRS, and that may leave him vulnerable to Oysen. I think he should have enough of a buffer to his compatriot there. One man that may not have enough of a buffer is B. Morgan, and one other man may not have it is Eloy Nico, as Harry Noir tries to close up to him now. He's got DRS over there running low on ERS, but he's still going to pull up. Pulls to the inside there. He may just glide past, and he does. And now Jekyll a bit more hard fought battle with Morgan there, but he gets the move done. Going into Lacombe, he's up in the 8th place there on the fresh tyres, making slow and steady progress up the field there. As always, he gets ever closer to the back of Gary Donegan there. Both of them trying to hone in on ILRT Matic. That gap is still hovering around about a second. Gary's just got to try and get DRS through one of these detection points, and that could spell him, and that could allow him to close up to the back of the Alfa Romeo then.
Yeah, definitely, as he's been cruising around, and 1 second now gets into it, and Matthew looking a bit shaky out there on the entry of Le Fagnet. And I think Gary has got the DRS if he maintains his through to the bus of chicane.
Let's see, he just has to hold it on the straight, and because the detection point slightly before, okay, now it looks like he will be able to with the slight slipstream from the car ahead then. Still a battle rages on there. Three cars in the DRS of ILRT Matty, who's going to try and do everything in his power to stop the charge of Cookie Games, but Cookie looks pretty imperious so far. The gap's not increased by quite so much this lap, as we've got another car off. That is Mark.
For a bit. I think he's recovered quite nicely though. Might be just like a half spin, minus spin.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm watching. I think your closest battle on track here is this one, as Nico makes an error. Going through turn 1 there, runs wide, and that's going to put Jekyll up and alongside him there as they approach Origin Radio. Nico just edges back in front, and that might be key. Going down into the corner there. Are they going to try and go side by side? No, Jekyll yields on the entry. Nico keeps a hold of 7th place, but for how much longer? B Morgan is right there as well. Indeed, there could they go 3 wide. Into lane come. Jacob covers him off aggressively. Morgan looking down the middle. There's a 3 wide on the run down towards the chicane there, and Nico has to back off. Jacob gets the move done. Nico goes off there through the run off there. That could have ended in disaster, but they keep it clean. Jacob managing to fend off Morgan and all of that. They move up to 7th and 8th. Nico down to 9th, beginning to struggle there, potentially just running out of tyres. He's got older tyres in the car, all the cars in front of him, and beginning to suffer. Now Dan beginning to close in there. A couple of errors from Nico there. Jacob and Morgan moving up.
And Gary Donegan now within 5/10 of Ireland team Matty.
Not that far behind Cookie.
They're still 1.7. Cookie has that gap, and no one behind him has the rest of him, so that he'll benefit from. Then B Morgan looking ever close again to J. Cole. Does he size up for something into Blanchimont? It looks for a bit. He sits behind though, just waiting for the one who can make a move there though. But B Morgan, can he do something into the bus stop? No, he can't for now.
ILRT Matty then. This might be another situation where he's put under pressure. Gary Donegan has made a very slow and methodical recovery up the field, and he's looking at potentially moving up into P2 and keeping his championship fight alone. Dylan's picked up a penalty. I assume that's at the bus stop chicane. There is Gary's right up behind Matty there. This could be a move there for P2. Matty's not fighting it. Cruising through goes Gary Donegan at 330 kilometers an hour. There's no match for that. And through goes Gary Donegan there. Now, do not look away, because now Gary, look who's in front of him.
Look at B Morgan. Danny inside of J. Cole.
Does he make sick?
Yeah, that's a good move. And actually then looking in behind as well to get past Nico, who has been struggling a lot. Looks to the inside.
Oh, Maledictus to both off. Oh, into the wall there. Maledictus tagged Dan as he tried to hang it around the outside. Dan gave him the squeeze,
and it's bringing a safety car.
Full safety car. We're gonna get, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 laps of action at the end of this race.
I think 2 laps is going to be.
2 laps, yeah.
Gonna be. It's 18 and it usually goes for 3 laps. So we can have a final sprint, and it's Cookie and Gary in the top 2 positions.
I don't really expect anyone apart from Dan, of course, to make the pit stops. Maybe guys a little bit lower down the field.
I think who knows? Because
someone like Nico, I think, could do it.
Yeah. Let's say someone in the midfield who goes on. I don't know what's Cookie gonna do and what's the rest gonna do for this one. This could be very interesting actually. Some may try to stay out. I don't know. Cookie stays out. Gary stays out. They're looking.
And he gambles
looking to the pits.
Whoa. Okay then. Where does he emerge?
Looking, I think because he had a few penalties, he might be thinking, why not try something.
Fair enough then, you got to give credit to him for trying.
I think Nico, as you said, he's in. And XCI Dan, of course, will be in as well with that front wing fully gone. And someone like Dylan he could afford to pit, so...
Oh man, we have yet another twist.
And someone like McCrew is just in a prime position here, basically. Because he has some quite fresh softs, and he goes into the pits, which is quite the opposite of what I thought he would do. Daniel staying out, that's probably more my example. He has quite fresh softs and he gets track position now. And moving up into P10, who knows what he could do with some penalties up ahead.
Indeed, we'll see how that shapes up. So it's just
watch the likes of watch the likes of Oysen and Nico in behind though. They're gonna be on fresh softs and they'll be on hunt.
So now,
for a few drivers.
Just the top 7 staying out on mediums, and there's gonna be a huge tyre advantage for those sitting behind them there. That pack led by Oysen. See how the end of this race unfolds. We, as you said, will probably get 3 laps of green flag running at the end of this race. So Cookie Games, I think you should have enough of a buffer. You don't really expect lose out, and this would be an appropriate time to run through the penalties. So if you can go to the race director, give us a little rundown how the driver's getting on.
So Cookie is still on 2 warnings then. And Gary looks to be all clean apart from 1 warning. Matty on 1 warning, so looking good. Caleb Blue on 1 warning. Haranoark on 2. B Morgan all clean. Jekyll looking on 1 penalty then. Is it Jekyll? Hang on. Yeah. Just making sure. Oasis having 2 penalties. Nico all clean. Daniel on 1 penalty. XI Dan on a penalty. It's quite odd then. Dylan on quite a lot of penalties, 2 5 seconds, and I think he might have served 1 though, I'm not too sure. And 1 3-second penalty. Maurice on 5 seconds, and I think he might have served that 1 already, so it counts for 6 seconds then. Then we have Marcus on 1 warning. White for Y on 2 warnings. Carmentalist clean. Rex still in this on 1 penalty. And McCrew, the last one, still to race on 1 penalty as well. So the top 7 is still clean.
Yeah, pretty much all your front runners still all good. Yeah, so that's gonna, but they are gonna be vulnerable from behind. You have to remember that now. The pack of soft runners sitting Ento, and we will just get 2 laps, I believe, to decide the positions in this race. Oh boy!
And it will be without DRS, so
yeah.
Full out old-fashioned racing. And look at this! Look at on board with Cookie, for example.
Ooh.
Do you see what I see?
I see what you see.
Raindrops.
Oh, as if D2 just couldn't get more exciting. We have rain for a 2-lap sprint. Now this could be a race of attrition. What the hell is going to happen here? Anything.
And depends if it's going to get down quickly or not. If it's getting out quite quickly, the soft one as well.
Cookie's in the wall! Oh my word! Cookie Games drops it under safety car with the changeable conditions. I can't believe what I've just seen. Keller is forced to let him through. Cookie with front wing damage now. Gary must not believe his eyes in front of him there. Cookie will be absolutely devastated. He's still got to try and keep the points up, but he's got front wing damage. Gary Donegan may have been gifted this.
This is that came as a huge shock. As yeah, I can't believe what I've seen just there.
Unbelievable.
And he has right end plate damage then, and the safety car's in this lap. And what are these changeable conditions gonna bring to us these last 2 laps? Gary lines up the field then, unexpectedly.
I think that you might see a bit more caution from a lot of these guys on the restart then, because there's clearly less grip out there, and they won't floor on the restart. They might just try and feather the throttle. We'll see who's more confident, more brave, and may try and pick it up. But yeah, that's huge, and that Cookie could present a bit of a buffer there that could allow LRT Matty to have a clear run at Gary Donegan. Let's see how the last 2 laps of this race unfold. Gary goes early, going to him towards the bus stop chicane there. Matty is going to get chased. No DRS for him to try and navigate the racing point in front of there. He's just, as you said it, got to do it the old-fashioned way. 2 laps to go here at Spa, and we are back to green flag racing there to close off this race there. And you can see the grip. They are all struggling for grip there on through turn 1 now, as predictably. Killer Blue is already up alongside Cookie Games. Or can he get it done? They almost touch on the run towards Eau Rouge there. They got Cookie Games has to just about hold that lead. Kyler Blue right behind him there, gets and cuts the inside of the I don't know what's going on there. He gets through on Matty on there. Now Cookie Games is wheel to wheel with him. Off at the front there, Matty is closing down on Gary Donegan there. Looks to the outside. No, doesn't get it there. Harry is going to try and slip through. He just picked up a penalty, but he is going to get past Cookie Games here, who may just slide down the field here. Let's see what happens here. Oyston is trying to make progress in on those soft tires. Gets another penalty, but he's wheel to wheel with Morgan there, and he may have a run at Cookie. Almost into Ravage. Makes contact with the Red Bull. Has to yield on the inside. That could get Morgan a chance there as he looks around the outside there. The top 4 very punched up there. You can see just up the road as Oyston slows through into 5th place, just in front of Cookie, who predictably is losing down. Yellows, Maurice is out running there. Morton is not close up to Cookie, hits him going into Pooh on there, wasn't expecting the closing speed there, and Cookie is out wide. Jaco gets through as well. Nico is going to get through. Daniel's almost going to get through as well, has to sit back for now, as, well, Wow, I cannot believe
look at
what is going
Oysen
on.
having the closest speed on these guys on mediums.
He's got so much more
Of course
grip.
he has those, but he has those penalties which basically has ruined his chances at any sort of podium here. But he's looking to the back of Harry.
Does he try it? Going again, you can see Harry struggling for grip even through launch one there, which is usually easy flat. Oysen looks to the outside there towards the final chicane. Breaks much later than Harry. I don't think that the Greek can do anything about that there. Through goes Oysen up to P4, but as you said, the penalties may hold him back. Further down the field there, Daniel's battling away with Dylan. Gets it done. Going in to the chicane there. Mark is going to slip through behind there off into 10th there. Goes the Briton or the Irishman, depending on which way you want to look at it there. Mark is up into 10. He now hounds Daniel there as up the road there. Matty's going to have one final chance, I think, of trying to get through on Gary Donegan there. They got to be careful coming up the corner there. Gary goes a little bit wide. The last part of radio there. He will be holding his breath here, trying to hold that there. Covers the inside line. Back out to the outside. I think he's clear. I don't think that Matty's close up there. Keller is reining in both of them there. Oysen going to present a bit of an obstacle for all these guys as well there. No DRS down the straight, so you're not seeing much in the way of moves. Cookie slides down the field. He's in 17th place as it stands, not scoring any points. As it stands, Gary Donegan scoring 25 points there, but do not look away because here comes Matty. He's around the back foot there. 2 sectors to go.
Can he make this one work? Matty right on the back of Gary Donegan. Oysen looking in behind as well. It's a 4-5 car train basically for the lead. Oysen looking in behind Kid LaBlue. Round the outside of Le Fournier.
Oh, makes contact! It's off! Into the wall! Getting squeezed off.
Retired from the session.
Matty has a little look at Gary. We got one sector.
Final straight.
Here we go now. Does Gary have enough in that racing point? He's got slightly more ERS in his pocket. Is that going to make any difference there? He's got that lead. Matty might not be close enough there if he wants to send it there. Killer Blue is right there as well there. Do not look away. Gary, he's been put through his paces. It didn't look good for him early on. He's worked his way back. Getting through on the mistake from Cookie Games there as they battle it out behind him there. Killer Blue has a look at Matty. It's not going to prevail. Gary Donegan exit the final corner. Penalty for Keller Blue. Gary up to the line. He has done it. What a race here at Spa. We've got a
B.
car
Morgan
off.
picking up P3.
B. Morgan on the penalties gets third on the podium. Indeed. Wow. And yet another unbelievable Division 2 race here in LOE. Gary Donegan. I don't think halfway through this race he was expecting to pick up the victory there. He was running out and out the outside of the top 5 for a lot of the race. Took advantage of others' errors, had managed to fend off ILR Team Matty. And again, another one of the closest finishes in the division's history. What can you say, man?
Absolutely nothing. It's the Irishman taking the win here at Spa. And a falling race once again. Been insane.
Yes, indeed. That I guess that's 4 in a row, Dieter. Well done, well done. And that is going to wrap up round 12 here. A huge race in the context of the championship, because Gary Donegan is your race winner there by just 2.5 tenths out of ILR Team Matty. Morgan picks up third there from 13th. Great drive from Morgan. He picks it up out of Killer Blue, who got that penalty on the last corner. Nico ends up 5th despite the late pit stop there and damage. Mark ends up 6th despite a quiet race there. Jekyll ends up 7th just ahead of Daniel, Dan and Rick. They round out the top 10 point scorers, as rounded off by Harry and Carmentless there. YHYY finishes 13th. Cookie, I have to say, absolutely gutted for 14th. McCrew, Dylan, Oysen, who was bitterly unlucky. He's the last. Well, Dylan was the last of the finishers there. Morgan the first of the retirements, and Dylan, Maledictus, and Super Gamer were the drivers. Thank you. they didn't quite see the checkered flag. That is going to be it then for round 12. I think I'm going to need to catch my breath after that. Another stunner, another corker from Division 2. And again, huge race in the championship. Gary will have the championship lead, I believe, by 24 points now. And Cookie Games is going to have to try and strike back against him there. Huge win for Gary. He takes your race victory. And we'll see what happens next time. I've been Daka. He's been Verstappen. Until next time, we'll see you later.